you go there at night now, you could possibly see the Goat Man.
They are mischievous. They are out to get you. You want to keep your distance.
It was one of those, just an eerie feeling I had looking at it.
It's half goat and half man.
From what I can see, I think that this is a humanoid creature.
There are lots of undiscovered things, particularly in the natural world.
Apart from all the known inhabitants of the forest, there are some that often go unnoticed until they pass before a trail camera. Comprising a lot of shocking entries, here are some of the most unbelievable trail camera captures that left everyone shocked. Ghost of Ancient Warrior. Even though this warrior might not exist anymore, its spirit is strong as ever. In 2021, an Arabic YouTuber, accompanied by a few companions, embarked on an exploration of a long-abandoned locale.
Allah. Are you safe?
In the northeastern region of Saudi Arabia, leading to a startling discovery. After hours of investigating, their attention was drawn to a ghostly figure that defied conventional descriptions, appearing as a formidable and ancient warrior. Clad in battle attire and with a warhammer as a weapon. Despite their efforts to engage with the apparition through light signals and verbal communication, it remained indifferent. The intrepid YouTubers conjectured that this otherworldly presence might have emanated from a nearby ancient cemetery. Bigfoot. An encounter such as this shows how exactly smart the Bigfoot are, not to mention very private as well. Bigfoot trackers, upon several reports of Bigfoot appearance in a forest in Alberta, Canada, planted this trail camera, hoping to capture a closer view after making several attempts to spot and get closer to this hairy giant. Now, although the camera did manage to capture a much closer view, but the Bigfoot managed to discover the camera, so much so that you even see how the cameras were grabbed by a gigantic hand seconds before being broken. After all, no one appreciates stalkers. Dogman. While on a 3-day hike in the Firefly Forest of Kansas, a group of young adults encountered a perplexing creature that appeared to be part man, part dog.
I thought this was car headlights, not.
This being repeatedly stalked them during their camping expedition, often standing a mere dozen meters away. Initially mistaken for a lone wolf, it soon became evident that this creature moved with human-like agility. It maintained a cautious distance, surveilling the group tirelessly for hours without respite, causing growing apprehension. Fearing a confrontation with the creature they dubbed the Dogman, the group decided to curtail their camping trip prematurely. Wolfman. A simple difference between a werewolf and wolfman is that a wolfman is only halfway into being totally berserk. A wildlife photographer in a small town somewhere in South Africa captured this footage showing what he described as a wolfman.
What is that?
According to the recorder, this wolfman was in the midst of a transformation process, as it could be seen running around rampantly through the process. Within less than a minute, the wolfman managed to disappear into the darkness, at which point the wildlife photographer decided to stay indoors, just to be on the safe side. Be it a werewolf or wolfman, it would certainly not be a good idea to confront either one of them. Hare Beast jumps. As interesting as encountering these mysterious beasts may be, there is always a risk of things taking a terrifying end. This chilling video shared by hunters who found themselves jumped by a massive creature while attempting to pursue it in its dark. Initially, it vanished before suddenly reappearing as it jumped the hunter that was recording.
Going back to the camp!
Despite the intense and perilous encounter, all the hunters miraculously survived. The shared footage has left viewers perplexed, but upon closer examination, the terrifying attributes and humanoid gait strongly suggest that the mythical shaggy creature was severely agitated by these unwelcome intruders. Real-life Jeepers Creepers. The fact that this mysterious being can appear and disappear by flying, this could very well be a real-life Jeepers Creeper. A camera filmed this notably distinct physical form that was captured on video in a public park in England. It had a tail, elongated bony limbs, and glowing eyes, quite similar to the fictional character. The footage emerged while a local resident was testing the infrared capability of a new camera, unveiling a puzzling sight in a playground. Perched atop the slide, the creature suddenly turns and takes a leap from the structure, vanishing into the obscurity of the night. What exactly this cryptic being might be remains a perplexing enigma.
Before we move any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content.
Paranormal creature climbing. The appearance of this small, shadowy figure that is a bit too diminutive to be mistaken for a burglar. An eerie footage was captured by a security camera strategically placed across from a villa in a rural region of Karnataka, India, showing a mysterious child-sized entity stealthily crawling alongside the villa before commencing its ascent. Local residents have differing theories, with some attributing the apparition to the spirit of a former child inhabitant, while others speculate it might be a jinn, which in most Eastern countries is called for a supernatural entity. Unusually tall ape. While most would call this to be a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch, the recording stated it to be rather an ape. Witnesses were astounded by the sight of an extraordinarily tall 12-foot monkey in the lush green expanse of Michigan. Adding to its otherworldly nature, this chimpanzee remarkably traversed the terrain using only its two hind legs, resembling a human in its gait. Despite its impressive size and human-like movement, the creature has displayed solitary and non-aggressive tendencies. Authorities, however, have cautioned residents and inquisitive onlookers to steer clear of its pathways, recognizing the unpredictability of wild animals and the potential risks that come with interactions. Shady Crypton. Although this may look like a monkey of some kind that's crippled until no tree line was found, a hiker was passing through a trail road in an Idaho woodland area when he noticed this peculiar entity shadowing towards him. The eerie presence emerged from the underbrush and persistently followed the hiker, prompting a closer inspection. In a spine-chilling twist, the mysterious pursuer abruptly rose onto its hind legs, unveiling a horrifying countenance and initiating a pursuit. The hiker managed to outpace the creature, describing its beastly features. The video viewers coined it the Shady Crypton, a cryptic figure that left a trail of questions and unease in its wake, defying easy explanation. Caned Ghost Yoda. Either this Yoda-looking figure was desperately looking to recruit future Jedis, or actually meant harm. In a wooded area somewhere in Central America, a cowboy on horseback searching for his lost cattle spotted this diminutive figure resembling Yoda from Star Wars. This ghostly being brandishing a sharp cane aggressively approached the cowboy by aggressively moving towards him, showing malicious intent. Knowing the potential of what Yoda can do, the man on the horse decided not to take any chances and fled the scene. The intentions of this cane-wielding ghost Yoda remain shrouded in mystery. Mummified figure. Mummies might not be a thing in real life, but remains the only explanation for this one in particular. A group of friends had a spine-tingling encounter when they spotted this eerie figure in the darkness while returning from a camping expedition in West Virginia.
I thought I seen a big buck or something. Right there, what is that? Is that a buck? What is that? Dude, that's not a...
It appeared to possess a human-like body wrapped around in what seemed like a white cloth or rope extending from its arms. Despite the distance of a dozen yards and the unsettling sight, the onlookers still managed to capture the incident while being gripped by fear. From the glimpses they managed to record, the figure bore an uncanny resemblance to a mummy. White Yeti. Considering its size, it probably is not an adult. While passing through the outskirts of Carbondale, Pennsylvania, a local resident was startled by unusual sounds emanating from the forested area alongside the road. Intrigued, he embarked on a search to uncover the source of these mysterious noises. After a few minutes of exploration, his flashlight's beam revealed the startling visage of a white Yeti.
What was that?
In an instant, the enigmatic creature bolted, swiftly vanishing into the depths of the forest, leaving behind an aura of bewilderment and wonder. Creepy crawler. Walking through the fields in daylight and venturing into the woods at midnight, this unsettling dark figure stirred a wave of intrigue across the internet. In both sets of footage, the creature's face remained shrouded in obscurity. However, a few days later, another video emerged, featuring a shadowy entity that bore a striking resemblance to the initial dark figure, this time with its eerie features clearly illuminated in a backyard. Many speculated that these mysterious beings in the separate recordings were one and the same, yet their true identity continues to elude clarification. The enigma persists, leaving a call to the online community for any insights or information on this particular phenomenon. Sasquatch. A TikToker out in the Canadian woods to create a video had a harrowing encounter with a massive gorilla-like creature boasting strikingly bright eyes. Initially, it was mistaken for a gorilla until it drew near while passing by. Filled with a mixture of fear and bewilderment, the TikToker decided to document the encounter. Seeking answers, the video was shared on social media, where many labeled it as a Bigfoot sighting, possibly one of the closest encounters ever recorded. Fortunately, the TikToker escaped without witnessing any aggressive or predatory behavior from the enigmatic creature, marking a unique and fortunate brush with the unknown. Zombie feeding. This could have been anything from a zombie to an outright ghost. A group of high schoolers that were on a trip when they noticed this scary-looking zombie that was feeding behind a tree. The high school teens decided to get closer to investigate, only to have it immediately disappear. And within a matter of several seconds reappear, which scared them all. Upon closely reviewing the footage, they noticed that this actually was a zombie that was hiding in plain sight in the woods. Mysterious alien. While embarking on a nighttime exploration of a haunted forest in search of the unusual, a young adventurer's quest transformed until a chilling ordeal. His flashlight unexpectedly illuminated a figure concealed behind a tree, covertly observing his every move. Although the mysterious being made a fleeting appearance, it left all witnesses perplexed, with ongoing efforts to discern its true nature. Notably, this entity bore a pallid complexion, boasted a head with an indistinct shape atop a lengthy neck, and possessed slender, elongated limbs. Some speculated it to be an alien, while others riddled it to be something else, inviting varied interpretations and viewpoints. Haunting figure with hump. This is probably a good example of the old saying of nothing good comes out after 10 in the night.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Two friends decided to go by the forest to have a beer, while recording themselves using a night vision camera, until this bizarre figure appeared out of nowhere, getting them on their feet in seconds. As curiosity kicked in, they decided to get closer and use the firecrackers that they were planning on lighting up later on. It had huge, bendy arms and was walking slowly until it stopped before a high-pitched, guttural cry. They dropped the firecracker in its direction before running away. Catching birds for dinner. If this actually was a gorilla, it certainly must have been desperate enough for food to start pulling off something like this. A video recorded in March 2016 by a man who was returning from a catch shows a huge furry animal on top of a pole. This furry-like ape was attempting to catch seagulls flying nearby. Upon catching one of them, it started bashing the seagull aggressively against the pole using brute force before starting to eat minutes later. As it was able to climb tall, narrow poles easily, many speculated that it could be a gorilla, but honestly, it seems like a really hungry Bigfoot. Tall, furry, humanoid. The bigger and furrier it gets, the harder it is, making it all the more concerning as well. Following numerous reports of a tall, human-like furry figure sighted in a wooded area near Winnipeg, wildlife experts enlisted the services of a former canine expert to investigate. After hours of tracking on the verge of giving up, the elusive creature made an unexpected appearance as it silently moved past a tree. The tracker endeavored to approach for a closer look, but his dog's refusal to join in the pursuit created a perplexing moment, ultimately aiding the mysterious being in its escape. Luckily, a camera attached to the dog's harness captured the first ever recorded sighting of this for point blank. Demonic animal. Either this is a case of severely injured rapid bear or a demon in animal form. While tracking bear activity in a forest in Louisiana in September 2015, this mysterious animal suddenly appeared on a planted trail camera in the middle of a dense tree line. It looked to be desperately looking around, probably to prey on its next victim. From pointy ears to frightening facial features left them wondering what exactly this could have been. Despite making several attempts to find it and even consulting wildlife experts, no one has been able to identify this bear or animal species. Juvenile Bigfoot. Since the advent of the Bigfoot legend, this probably is groundbreaking. This footage from December 2021 marks the first possible documentation of a juvenile Bigfoot,
I think his face is the other way,
which was caught on trail camera that initially was planted to study animal behavior.
Yeah, it does look like a monkey.
Upon finding this creature akin to Bigfoot, except that it was much smaller in stature, perched high in a tree within Washington State Forest, the encounter was a mutual shock to the locals of the discovery, especially after the video circulated on social media. Speculation ran rampant, with many suggesting that this mysterious figure could indeed be a juvenile Bigfoot. Pointing skinwalker. Whether you call this to be a monkey or a long-lost skinny guy that finally found some help, it isn't easy to recognize its true nature. While driving on the road through a dense forest at night, until he stumbled onto this skinwalker that was blocking the road and pointing him to go off-road. Initially, he took it to be a really skinny person that had lost his way around the forest until he noticed that it looked nothing like a human. However, from it using sign language and having general body structure quite like a human, both confused and terrified the driver. The Rake. Seeing something like this certainly rings a bell of something that we might have seen before. Gollum from Lord of the Rings. A video was posted on social media in 2021 by an unknown party from somewhere in Northern Europe, showing what looks to be a creature crawling through the woods at a distance. Placed two different cameras, the first one didn't get much of a view, but the second one sure caught a glimpse from close distance as it strolled through. With the source of the video not known, we can never know what this actually might have been. Werewolf. Amid an eerie coincidence of a full moon, a suburban couple in Virginia experienced a puzzling series of events.
That is when things started getting a little strange.
After several cases of their nightly routine being disrupted by the noise of their trash being repeatedly rifled through,
Raccoons are back.
Looks like somebody had a trash party.
They decided to plant a trail camera which they initially thought to be a bear of some kind.
I had this old camera, so we set it up outside to try to get an idea of what was going on.
Once they reviewed the footage and discovered this huge wolf-like being, the man of the house decided to investigate himself, not believing what he saw in the footage.
I've never seen anything like that before, ever.
Only to find it the next day, when it almost started to chase him. Maybe the best course of action would be to relocate. Zombie clown. If you think clowns are scary, imagine seeing one that's zombified and is quietly stalking you.
Who's that?
In response to numerous reports of unusual incidents in a remote section of an Ontario, Canada forest, a team of paranormal investigators initiated an inquiry. After hours of exploration, they encountered this grotesque, zombified entity shadowing them from a distance. When one of the investigators spotted this unsettling figure, it swiftly retreated behind a tree, disappearing into the obscurity of the woods. With its luminous eyes, clown-like makeup, razor-sharp reflexes, and imposing size, the encounter left a nightmarish dread of this intruder. Skeleton with glowing eyes. Either this is a prisoner on the run or a good old case of a possessed man. A group of young campers decided to camp for the night in Coconina National Forest, Arizona. In the woods, they saw a man who looked troubled sitting by a small stream. When they shone a light on him, he turned and stared at them. He had a shaved head and a skinny body, like a Halloween skeleton. What stood out were his eyes, which glowed in the dark. Human eyes don't do that, so they realized he wasn't a person, but a supernatural entity in a human-like body. Possessed witch. This clip was filmed by an explorer who was lost in a forest in New Zealand in June 2021, as he decided to settle down and for the rest of the night, until he heard a disturbing sound quite similar to that of a cry, not too far from his location. Thinking it might be a cry for help from someone else lost, he decided to investigate, only to find its point of origin from something that looked unlike any known human. Seconds after the encounter, the terrified explorer immediately decided to flee for his life. After several minutes of running away, the recorder hid himself under a tree bark and decided to remain stationary till dawn. Real-life Tarzan. Just because it may have the resemblance doesn't necessarily mean it could actually be as friendly. In Minnesota, a construction worker on a break spotted an exceptionally tall man who seemed fascinated by the modern construction around him. The man appeared nearly unclothed, wearing only a dark garment and towering twice the height of an average person. As one of the construction workers rode by on his bicycle, the tall man, reminiscent of a real-life Tarzan, swiftly vanished. However, due to the footage being captured from a distance, the identity of this towering figure remained uncertain. Tree cryptid. It most definitely might seem like a shady monkey until you get a closer look at it. A woman enjoying time with her young son in their cabin near the woods on the outskirts of Rio de Janeiro
¿Qué es lo que vos estabas haciendo recién?
witnessed a long, outstretched limb protruding from a tree. The sight triggered her dogs to bark furiously, raising her concerns for safety.
¿Quién te enseñaba a hacer esas cosas?
And upon closer inspection, they beheld a figure reminiscent of the legendary cryptid known as the Pombero. This notorious entity is typically described as a small, hairy, human-like creature known to dwell in the woods. Alien appears from woods. While in the wilderness, a man was practicing his singing and recording when he noticed a dark figure.
Looking for where the sound was coming from, but I stopped.
This figure appeared to have a human-like shape, with a dark gray hue and stood not too far from the recorder. The man speculated that his vocal sounds might have attracted the attention of this mysterious being, which seemed to be in search of the source of the sound. When he stopped singing, the alien appeared perplexed, but continued to look around. While some believe the alien was tracking him, others suggest it may have been interested in the deer that coincidentally crossed their path at the same time. Bizarre wall entity. A Reddit user shared a video in which two men were exploring an underground cave system concealed beneath the trees within Jordan's Dibben Forest Reserve. Curiosity drove them to move the rocks, revealing an enigmatic entity on the other side, its visage obscured by a brown covering. In response, the two men commenced reciting religious verses for spiritual protection against this potentially supernatural entity. Many locals entertain the belief that it may be either a ghost or a jinn. Rooftop witch. Maybe this was just another introvert that was too far gone into its path and didn't appreciate being disturbed. A recorder from an Indian city in Mumbai shared this footage of a haunted woman or a witch that was standing on a rooftop in pitch darkness. From residents of the area to passerby, everyone attempted to get a closer look at this entity. But due to fear of the unknown, were taking precautions. With the help of ladders, they were able to easily reach the top, but couldn't gamble with their lives. This unknown witch disappeared right before the sunrise, leaving many scratching their heads. Peeking alien. If you find an alien peeking through your window like this, expect that your chances of abduction are sky high. A security camera in a house in Washington state started recording after being triggered by a motion sensor showing a huge face that was curious peeking through a kitchen window into the house. There were reports of another similar sighting within that area, only in this case the alien looked to be much smaller, perhaps a toddler. Could it be that some of the aliens actually might be stranded or exiled to Earth and are looking to coexist without human knowledge? Ghost skull. Dogs may be good at tracking, but in this case it was stalked by a ghost with a human-like skull. A man was passing through Assiniboine Forest in Winnipeg, Canada, when he noticed a set of glowing eyes closing in onto his dog.
Something is watching my dog.
Taking it to be a wolf or wild animal of some kind, the man stepped forward to keep it from jumping his dog, at which point he found it to be a spirit or supernatural entity. It was a very tiny human-like skull that could be seen popping out from behind a tree. Extraterrestrial. A distressing 911 call alerted authorities to a massive and unusual creature in a resident's backyard. When the police arrived at the scene, they discovered no signs of the enigmatic being, leaving everyone in a state of confusion. The audio recording of the call stirred fascination and ignited debates regarding the potential existence of otherworldly creatures. Mysterious slender figure. This dashcam footage reveals a figure of remarkable agility, darting across the road at an otherworldly pace. Its humanoid shape and peculiar legs trigger contemplation about its source and objectives. Could it be an extraterrestrial visitor from the far reaches of the cosmos? Or perhaps a legendary skinwalker on a clandestine mission? However, the puzzling nature of the figure continues to evoke a sense of disquiet, leaving many questions unanswered. Forest anomaly. In January 2013, a man came across an intriguing find while reviewing footage from a trail camera positioned in a German forest for a few days. The recorded figure exhibited a curious likeness to a human female, characterized by an oddly disproportionate facial structure and notably large glowing eyes. Puzzled by this unexplained presence, consequently, it was simply termed a forest anomaly, reflecting the mysterious and baffling nature of the encounter. Flying devil. This video delves into the intersection of myth and reality thanks to David Black's extraordinary footage. The elusive New Jersey Devil, a legendary creature entrenched in folklore and myth, has long eluded definitive proof of its existence. However, this encounter shatters the preconceived notions surrounding this mysterious being. While on a stroll in southern New Jersey, David bore witness to the New Jersey Devil taking flight right before his eyes. With quick thinking, he captured the historic moment on his camera, reshaping our understanding and challenging established beliefs about this cryptic entity. This picture was shared by a trail camera on the 25th of April 2021 on the outskirts of Acapulco, Mexico, showing a human-like being with a goat head along with an unconscious man. Days later, an unknown Spanish-speaking man uploaded the footage on the internet, showing an unrecognizable and seemingly huge-horned beast that was staring at them in the dark. Not to mention that it was close to where the picture was taken. The men in the vehicle reported that it seemed to be surveilling them from top of a rocky hill. While most of its body was not visible, the glowing eyes and huge white horns were easily visible. Minutes later disappeared, leaving them wondering if this actually was the devil himself or some type of beast animal. To date, other footage or sightings of this unknown horned demon, leaving this mystery unsolved. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.